You need truth and life. Here is the Brother Leon Show. You better recognize.
What's going on, listeners? This is your boy, Brother Leon, and you are tuning into another episode of the Brother Leon Show. So today, guys, I ain't gonna lie, I'm up here in the hotel. I'm relaxing. I'm chilling, just enjoying my 50th. So I wanted to come to you guys because I know a lot of stuff has been happening in pop culture and in the gospel music industry. Man, everybody's talking about Kirk Franklin and how we shouldn't judge and all that type of nature. And you're getting different opinions from everybody. Everybody has commentary. But the crazy thing is that I feel as though that we shouldn't judge. Seriously. Because the crazy thing is that a lot of people say, well, you know, he need to get this straight. You should never talk to your child, da-da-da-da-da-da-da. But, and this is just my opinion, and that's why I'm saying but, you never. And in the black community, we don't hardly ever come at our parents like that. Seriously. Because at the end of the day, you have to ask yourself, you know, if I do believe the Bible, what does the Bible say? I know the Bible says, you know, fathers, provoke not your children unto anger, lest they become discouraged. And the Bible also says, honor thy mother and thy father, that thy days will be long upon the earth. And the Bible also says, don't judge anything before the time. So, you know, I'm just paraphrasing scriptures because you guys know what I mean. And so, you know, the crazy thing that really gets me is the expectation. The expectation that we put on Christians. The unrealistic expectations at time that, you know, our sanctification has to be above reproach, that we supposed to, you know, always turn the other cheek. But the one thing, man, that we fail to realize is this, is that a lot of us, it's so easy to say what we will never do. But the crazy thing is that you don't know what you're going to do if you get in that situation, because I ain't going to lie. Sometimes, you know, we can be numb to everybody else. But when it comes to our children at times, our children have the tendency to push those buttons, trigger those triggers, and next thing you know, ain't no telling what might be coming out your mouth. Now, granted, you know, should nobody have that type of power? And I do believe that a lot of times, man, we tend to, you know, put our guard down. But here's the one thing that you have to look at. You have to look at Kirk Franklin's age. You have to look at his son's age. And so at the end of the day, we say don't judge anything before the time. What was the time before he got angry and started cussing? What was the time before, in the beginning, where all of this trauma and toxicity, as people are saying, started? Even Kirk himself, even the son himself. And so the crazy thing about it is that, you know, his daughter has gotten on social media saying certain things against the son. And the crazy thing is that it's a strained relationship, and you can hear the hurt. You can hear the pain. But the crazy thing about it is that we put crazy expectations and unrealistic expectations at times, thinking that, okay, if you're Christian, then you need to have this type of standard. Man, please. Some of us as Christians, man, we know that we have fallen. And some of us who are Christians, man, we still follow leaders. We still follow celebrities that have fallen. And that's the God knows truth. And the crazy thing about it is that celebrities and kids, a lot of times, man, kids, some of them get out of pocket. You know, we recently had Brian McKnight's son get out of pocket, and he had to do a video. We saw, you know, Angie Stone's daughter get out of pocket and everything, and she did a video. So, you know, my question is, why is it that we put these people on the pedestal and say, hey, you have to act this way? And then the crazy thing about it, he feels as though that to guard his brand and integrity and everything like that, he has to put out a video of him being disrespected and also apologize. And then people say, oh, he need to apologize to his son. Man, please, his son is a grown man. And the crazy thing about it is that at the end of the day, you're going to have to look at it and be honest and say that whole father-son dynamic has not only changed, but it is totally left. And you got to begin to deal with it from a man-to-man issue and basis. And that's what you got to do in order for healing to come. Because as long as you try to deal with that child-parent dynamic instead of man-to-man dynamic, it's always going to be trauma. It's always going to be trouble. And you're going to end up failing and falling. Because you're going to look to him to do, hey, you're my father, you supposed to. And then he's looking at you like, well, you a grown man now. And then I tried my best. And then the crazy thing is you don't know the history. That's the thing that really grieves me, is that people don't know the history. And they judging. But, I posted on Facebook, my sanctification ain't all the way 100. I said that. My sanctification is not 100% all the way in every area, because I know with certain things that if you push me the wrong way, I know how I'm going to react. And I'm just being honest. That's why I love that song, Try Jesus, Don't Try Me. Because I throw hands, because I fight. That's me. That whole thing about turn the other cheek, that is not me. I'm still working. I'm still a work in progress. I'm working out my own salvation with fear and trembling. So in the midst of me working out my salvation with fear and trembling, I have no right to judge somebody else's. And that's the attitude that we should take when it comes to Kirk Franklin. I got so many prophetic people talking things. Man, please. How many spiritual fathers have disrespected their sons? Seriously. How many spiritual sons have disrespected their spiritual fathers? Matter of fact, man, please. We in church got kids that's out of pocket. We in church got kids that's out here by other women. And the crazy thing about it, we want to sit up here and judge and put our 2 cents in it. But at the end of the day, man, it is what it is. This is an issue that has to be solved between two grown men. And the one thing that y'all got to stop seeing is a little boy and a father. Y'all need to see two grown men. And you just ain't going to talk to a grown man any old type of way and then expect him, to be integral, especially when you don't push them and goaded him there. And the crazy thing, you want to laugh at him. So, at the end of the day, I don't condemn it and I don't condone it, but I understand it. So, the thing is that healing needs to take place. What we need to do is begin to pray. But the one thing that you don't want spiritually, you don't want to be cursed by your father. Because the crazy thing about it is that you came from him. And a father's blessing is the thing that sets a son, that sets a daughter, that sets a child into destiny. But when you are cursed by a father, it's totally something different. And that's the God knows truth. So I pray to God that there be healing on both sides. And I pray that he will not be the black sheep looking like he's on the outside looking in. Because I know what that feels like as well. It's a whole lot of things that Brother Leon has felt and has done. And I ain't gonna lie, man, being transparent, yeah, me and my pop, we had a falling out. But I ended up coming to him and apologizing because I knew that regardless of what may have been the circumstances behind a whole lot of things, I still didn't have that right. So I put it on me. And at the end of the day, putting it on me, things got right. I had to see things from a different perspective. And I had to know that, okay, let's start dealing with each other man to man. That whole, I will always be your son, but that whole child-parent dynamic, it done changed, it done left. You're a grown man, I'm a grown man. So we got to start dealing with each other from a grown man perspective. And so I think after that, that's when the disappointment stopped. That's when the hurt stopped. Because I began to see it from a different perspective. This is what needs to happen in this situation. Because when you begin to see it in that light and in that aspect, then you will not be hurt as much. And then you'll be able to be like, okay, hey, look, this is what I need to do to protect my peace. This is what I need to do to make sure I don't get hurt. This is what I need to do to make sure that I'm guarded. And you do that. You do everything that you need to do. But at the end of the day, like I said, we are so quick to say, we shouldn't judge. But I say this, don't judge anything before the time. But what was the time before he got recorded cussing? Because I tell you this, I'd rather have that man cuss than to have him curse. And what I mean by curse is him speaking curse words that you ain't going to succeed, that you're going to fail, that you're this, that you're that. So yeah, I could take him cussing, but I can't take him cursing. Now, granted, me as a pastor, certain things that I do on my Brother Leon show and even Truth and Life Urban Ministry, yes, I do cuss. I'm a secular pastor. I'll say that. I'll be the first. But it depends on the situation and the subject matter. But I look at it like this. I may cuss to shock you, but I will not curse your life. And that's the God knows truth, because my job and my goal is to break the curse, because generational curses are nothing but generational lies. And that's the thing. We have believed. We believed the power. We believed, in the bondage. We believed in the cursed bloodline. We believe that. But the thing is that we need to take our power in our belief and put it in the blessing and not the curse. So I thoroughly believe that sons as well as fathers can be healed, because as long as you have that divide, how is it that we can begin to have healing in our generational tree and in our generational line? It has to begin with us, but it also has to begin with having perspective on certain things and drawing a line on certain things. So, my prayer is that there will be healing. I look at it like this. I don't expect Kirk Franklin to be perfect, just like I don't expect myself to be perfect, because I know, in the gospel industry and even professing as a Christian in society and out here, man, please, they expect you to be above reproach and to live a certain way. Man, please. I look at it like this. If y'all can give forgiveness to a lot of these people out here, then you can give Kirk Franklin forgiveness. You can give him grace. Man, please. We were still loving R. Kelly even after the first tape. And that's the God knows truth. So I look at it like this. If we can do that and not throw him away, then we can give Kirk Franklin grace and not throw him away. Because I look at it like this, man. Everybody has problems with their kids at one point. And that somewhere along the line, it gets resolved. And then it's a thing of the past. And that's what we're going to have to do. That's what we're going to have to believe. So that's just my take on Kirk Franklin. But it's just, amazing to look at the Christian people. And the crazy thing is that, man, I just look and I'm like, wow, man, really? Everybody's judging. Everybody got an opinion. But the crazy thing is you keep your life so private. A lot of us, we keep our lives so private. And then, we expect this man who was out in the public view, who pretty much lives in a glass house, we are shocked when his stuff comes out. And we expect him to, be a certain way. Man, please. I ain't gonna lie. I ain't find nothing wrong with it, because you push me a certain way, yeah, ain't no telling what might come out my mouth. And I done said that. But it is what it is. But healing needs to come, nonetheless. So with that, you guys be blessed. I'm still enjoying 50. I'm at my favorite spot. I'll tell you about it when I get back. So you guys be blessed. Peace.
Walk in the truth that makes you free every day. Follow Brother Leon on all social media outlets.